to let go of my computer because I know it was tapped into when I was in the hospital. So I just didn't even want it anymore. I was scared to have my computer.
Right. It's hard. So I decided just to do there is a 15-minute live video on it. And I figure if I just start coming out and just basically with my basic testimony, and then I want to use my phone as a safeguard too. I keep multiple devices on me so that when I'm out, I'll have a recording device. Something's recording the people around me. So then if I see a repeat of people being around me, then I know to be a little bit more aware.
Yeah.
I've gotten, like where I'll get on the bus and I'm like, all right, I'll get off of the bus. Get off the bus and get right back on the back side of the bus. And then realize, well, there's still a couple more of them on here. I'll get back off at the next block and do the same thing. I'm sure it puts many of them off because I'll catch back up with them later on in the day. But being able to document these things are really hard. And, Jamil, it's like when you said that, I think for someone like, when you say that you don't have your history up, I think for someone like me who thinks in the back of my head, oh, would this be someone who's set a channel up and have these resources in front of their hand in order to bring me out and kill me? It's a legitimate thought that, many of us would end up having over a course of time.
It's no disrespect to you at all. I think that's what she's trying to say.
Definitely.
But it's because of our experience, what we've been through, what we've all been through.
Yeah. And then on the back end of it, too, by you not having your history up, I'm not saying anything about it. What I'm just trying to get at is I'm glad she even asked the question because it makes me go, oh, well, what is it that there would be tens of thousands of other questions, essentially, that come with it. And without bringing any type of negativity to the table, but just highlighting on the fact that we all need some type of comfort. I need comfort, put it that way. And yet it's really hard to find comfort in this scenario. As a man, how would you suggest that we as females find comfort in the scenario that not everybody is a part of this beast system?
Right, like not everybody is a gang stalker trying to hurt us.
How would I bring comfort to you and explain that to you?
Well, I mean, for any female, how would you...
A targeted individual female,
Yeah,
well, I want to be practical here. It depends on how targeted the woman is. There's different levels of targeting, and if somebody is not already participating, they may be converted to participate. They may be approached and paid off, have
you talked to a TI that's been converted and been like, hey, you're a targeted individual, be a gang stalker, so you're not targeted individual anymore?
No, I'm talking about, a woman is being gang stalked and she meets some new people. Those people may be approached, told disinformation stories about her, and asked to participate in the overall networking of what's going on. I got to be realistic. I got to be realistic. I don't want to tell somebody something just because it sounds nice. I'm not going to give somebody some fairy tale just because it sounds nice. I don't know what to say about to tell a woman so she feels comfortable or whatever. Like, you got to peep the scene. You got to be smart and peep the scene, and you test the waters. You test the people out. You give them little samples of what they can get if they're friends with you, and if they fuck up the little sample, then not to fuck with them. Not to kick it with them. To stay away from them. You test people out. You got to keep testing people out. Test people out, and if they pass that test, then give them another test. If they pass the,
but as a woman, it's scary because if they don't pass the test, then we could be dead. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
as
it's not
like it's scary to be in that situation.
If somebody wants to kill you, they're gonna kill you.
Yeah, that's true.
If somebody, you can't walk around.
They will shoot a gun and try and kill you. I know that for a fact because they've done it to me.
I mean, yeah, I know, I hear, but I've had people try to kill me in my lifetime. If somebody wants to kill you, if somebody really wants to kill you, they're gonna kill you. You
Right.
know, that's just the way it is. Nobody can stop it. Presidents have been killed before. If they want to, you can be touched. I don't care who you are, how much money you got, how much clout you got. You can be touched.
Exactly,
If a
and that's how I
motherfucker,
feel.
they
I
want
mean,
you,
if someone's tried to kill me before, who's not to say that
right.
you and her aren't?
You can,
you know, I mean, I'm just
you
being
can be
realistic.
touched. You know, if they want you, if they want you bad enough, they're gonna get you. You know, that you can be touched. So I'm not gonna sit up here and give fairy tales to people and stuff like that. But at the same time, you can't go out in the world and be scared and think everybody's trying to kill you everywhere you go.
Right,
you might end
because not everybody's a gang stalker. Yeah.
Well, you might attract
a lot of
it.
people will totally try and help you and love you. Not everyone's a gang stalker, but I think a lot of TIs, like in the beginning, in the confusion stage, they truly believe everyone's a gang stalker because they don't know, like, and they've been so traumatized that, like, it's just, like, natural, like, on guard and think everyone get them. I think
you
that's
can
what
attract
that part of the program is that's what they want. So then they don't have to worry about
you're going to attract it. By walking around paranoid, you're gonna attract it. There's been people who tried to
You're gonna manifest it on your own.
Yeah.
That's the power of manifestation.
There's people who tried to kill me.
You attract what you believe, you know?
Right. There's people who tried to kill me, and there's people who want me dead. I know that. I don't give a fuck. I'm still out there on blast 24/7 with my courses.
Yeah. Right.
You know? Shit, if they want me, come get me. Shit, I'm doing my courses. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
My shit's on blast every single to the day I die. My shit is on blast. I don't give a fuck who likes it. To the day I die, my shit is on blast. Courses every day for everybody. Everywhere.
I think just any TI woman, you gotta like watch out, like, and test the water, like you were saying. But you gotta be careful, locked and loaded.
Right.
Just in case.
Right.
Not paranoid, but prepared.
Yeah, my shit till I drop. Goddamn it, till I drop, goddamn it, I'm doing 6-hour interviews in this bitch. Till I drop, I'm doing 6-hour interviews. I don't give a fuck who likes it. So you know, that's just how it is. That's just how it is with me. That's how I'm laying. But I don't know. You know, you just gotta test the waters, see what works.
I guess it's harder for a female to test the waters than it is for like somebody like you, like a strong, like, big dude, like. You know, I mean, I'm like 5 foot tall, 90 pounds. I'm tiny.
But my God, see, they don't know who my God is, though.
It's a little different, but I mean, I still test the waters just because of everything I've been through. I just don't care anymore. Like, if you're going to kill me,
it's not me, it's my God.
Whatever.
It's not me, it's my God.
For other TI women, like, I could see how it's really, really hard for them to trust a man or anybody in general. Do you know what I'm saying? After what we've been through.
It's my God doing it, though. It's not me. It's my God doing it.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of faith and not fear, like we were talking about earlier, you know.
Right. My God, that's my God doing it. I know what my God can do. You know, my God's out there with me. That's why I'm not worried about nothing. My God doesn't care who they are. They can't outrank my God. So
I guess I've even been fooled as an empath and you know, I'm an indigo. I'm very intuitive and empathic person, but I've still been fooled by gang stalkers, you know?
Yeah, I've been fooled.
As empathic as I am, I've still been fooled and I've still been hurt deeply on different levels, different domains. So yeah, it definitely I have really bad trust issues and I don't trust anybody, and I have attachment issues, like, or abandonment issues. Like, I'm scared, like, people will leave me, you know. And I've had that my whole life. That's been a hard thing for me to deal with. Like, now that I'm living on my own, I guess I'm forced to deal with it, you know.
Well, you better
God has
than me,
put me in a place where I have to deal with it.
Yeah, I can't live on my. That's the one thing I think.
I used to think the same thing.
I fear anything. That's probably not my biggest fear, but if I were to fear anything, that is the one thing that I do fear. I don't mind being alone by myself every now and then, And
but not
I
every
didn't
day.
want
I'm
to
by
start.
myself 90% of my life. I mean,
Yeah, it's like once
I have my
people know
dogs, and like I live alone. I spend most of my time alone.
I
And
feel like
I've
I
had
have
to
to
heal.
be awake when people are asleep so that I know I can sense when someone's just looking at me.
I'll
It
wake
wakes
up
me
from a
up.
dead sleep in the
You
middle
gotta
of the
be
night.
hardcore. You just gotta
Yeah.
have it in your mind. You just
Yeah.
gotta have it in your mind that it is all or nothing. It's whatever.
Yeah,
You just gotta
yeah.
I've been through so much stuff. I'm telling you. You're talking about somebody who motherfucking attempts on my life. I've survived it. I've survived attempts on my life. I've survived involuntarily psychiatric units. Motherfucking have my food drug, electronic weapons, sophisticated stalking, mind control. I've survived it. These other motherfuckers can't survive it. They can't go through what I went through. They would have been dead a long time ago. You know, you just got to be
Unfortunately,
hardcore.
a lot of TIs have died. And that's a really sad reality,
hardcore.
but it's true. It's so sad to think about how many of us haven't survived. You know, a lot of us have died. They've killed so many TIs.
What part of the system, Jamil, were you speaking out against?
Huh?
What part of the system was your focus?
The 60s. I was speaking about. I was telling people about things that had happened in the 60s and 70s that were covered up. And
what, like Operation
so you were
Paperclip?
He's talking Kennedy's time, like what John Wilkes.
Yeah, the Nazi. Yeah, Operation Paperclip. The Nazis coming into America.
Yeah.
There's things I know. Yeah, there's things that I know that the Nazis were involved with, and there's people who know I know. You know, but
my dad, I call
there's
Hitler.
a lot of stuff.
There's
a lot of stuff I know about that they don't want out there. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Have you had a YouTube channel for a long time, Jamil?
I
heard
how long did you have the other one?
Yeah, I heard what you said, but what was your other? So how old was your oldest one? I'm trying to think. I think I don't know. I almost feel like I've seen your name.
I came out in late 2014 with a YouTube channel. It was just my name, Jamil Rawls, and then I just came on there talking about my conspiracy research.
Is your last name spelled Rawls?
Yeah, RLS, like Lou Rawls. I just came out there with my stuff.
I've watched some of your. I may, if you got one to, well, no, because you've erased your channel, and there was a bunch of videos erased off of my blog, well, that were erased off of YouTube, anyways. And I almost want to say there was a mind control video I think you had.
What was it
about?
over.
Oh my goodness, it covered, I want to say it could have been about, like, Britney Spears was a sex slave.
Oh, yeah, she's got beta programming like me.
Right, I think it was, and don't get me wrong, because it was a long video, like an hour or so long, and it covered most topics. I think, matter of fact, I almost remember the what do you call it? The picture that, was your thumbnail. Okay, your thumbnail would have been a brain, and it was just the brain. It was blue screen, just the brain, and the title was MK Ultra Mind Control. No, okay, but I've seen your name before.
I've never heard of another Jamil. That's a unique name. So
yeah,
I recall the last name Rawls.
My stuff was I did a lot of work on Jonestown and things that people don't remember from the 70s, like the Zebra murders, the D Mau Mau murders, the Son of Sam, the Zodiac. But Jonestown, Manson and Jonestown were on top of my list, on my priority list. Jonestown became a priority for me. And,
I don't know about that. You'll have to school me one day.
I did, and I watched it.
The mind control operation in Jonestown went till 1985. A lot of people don't know
about
this.
that.
He's from Indiana, where I'm from.
Jim Jones is from Lynn, Indiana. Yeah, in 1978, Congressman Leo Ryan was murdered. He was assassinated, and after that time, Jonestown still the NBC News crew went back to Jonestown a year later, November 18th, 1979. 1 year later, and there were still people in Jonestown hanging out, walking around. Jonestown went until 85. Most people just don't know that, but it was a mind control
I
experiment.
didn't know
There
that.
was a lot. Oh yeah, assassination programs were, but all kinds of stuff. There's a lot I know about Jim Jones, the People's Templar, I will say the Jim Joneses. There was more than one Jim Jones, and I don't want to consume this thing about it. But there's a lot I know about Jonestown, and there was a lot I put together on the subject. And yeah, Project Paperclip. There's a lot of other things involved with it, you know. And so
I know about Project Paperclip, but I don't know about this.
But it's not. Yeah, you can lose your life playing with that. I wasn't playing with it. I was for real.
Yeah.
But you can lose your life over that stuff. You can. Right now in 2018, you can lose your life over something that happened 50 fucking years ago. It's not hard to do.
Well, yeah, if you talk about it, right?
Right. Yeah.
God forbid.
There's still people
you can lose
that
your
are
life over that stuff.
That have money.
So,
I mean, you know what? That's one thing I was going to say. I've always learned if you want to be a truther, that's amazing. You want to cover things, and at this point, I think so much has come out anymore over all of these topics. Someone said something to me about, well, what would your goal be? Because I've even begun writing on it. I'm actually been in the editing process of this for like a month now. I wish I could move faster mentally, but not been able to do so nonetheless. And I first started out with names, and I was, pinpointing people and using the fact that I knew symbology and what their hand signs and gestures and all these different things meant. And then I was including that in my writing, and I came to find that wasn't very smart. That just, by pinpointing the ideas and showing how it has integrated into society on the lower level and not really utilizing people's names, I'm creating a cushion for myself that says, well, nobody's really going to come after me because I'm not pinpointing drug cartels and,
Right. You're not naming names.
Right. So, I found that made me feel more comfortable. I'm still not done writing this piece, but I think, even when I decide to put my pedal to the metal and start recording myself and giving my testimony, I still wouldn't even want to do that, because even though it's kind of smart to air out the closet per se and say so many things, at some point it's really not that smart, because they can wipe all your accounts out. They can easily,
in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
And you'll be lucky if you get them back.
Well, but the point is, if they decide to create a fictitious life that you've been living, and then go murder 15 people and then holographically make you show up, trust me, it's possible. You don't have to be present. They can easily arrest you afterwards and just say, yes, you were there, because that's how they
can
operate.
just totally falsely accuse you and do whatever they want. It's fucked up.
15 people died in your name, and then all of a sudden you've got 10 years worth of accounts that have a bunch of bullshit of crap that you never even put your hands in. So,
yeah, it's scary.
It's a very, very, very large threat to our society. But on a lower level, when you're dealing with people who have been gang stalked, do you find that the ones that have been gang stalked have you found a lot of people that would prefer to be silent and say absolutely nothing and let it continue to happen?
Yeah. What do you say?
You must be busy.
I don't think he heard.
Hey, do you think that there's people that don't want to talk? That they do.
A lot of people that just want to be silent.
They're scared.
Yes, for obvious reasons too. I don't blame them.
Right.
Have you found that though? Like that, a lot of people don't want to talk about it.
There's a woman right now who emailed me with her phone number, and I text her back, and she keeps saying she's going to call me, and she never does. And I know she's scared. She's scared to talk on the phone about it.
Right. I get that, though. I totally get that. And if it's just beginning, like, I'm surprised, Rachel just found out about this, and she's so, has the courage to talk about it, because I think a lot of people in that stage are scared shitless.
Oh, I'm scared to talk. Like, I'm terrified. I thought, like,
well, you are awesome. I'm glad you do.
What?
I said I'm glad you do talk out. Like, I think that's awesome of you, because and the stage you're at where you just found out, like, most people would never fucking talk about that shit. They'd be too scared.
I did hold off for like a day or two, I think.
Well, I mean, I give you mad props for, just finding out about this, because I think, Rachel, like, if I were you and I just found out, I'd be scared too. I probably wouldn't have done it. So that's really
Rachel,
cool that you have the
long
courage and strength to do that.
So sick of, I was just so sick of not knowing what was going on. I was just so sick of not knowing what was going on and being so confused and so isolated that I actually was really, really hesitant. And then I saw like a couple of videos, and one of them was Jamal saying, well, what's the worst they can do now? Like, your life's already shitty. Like, if you're going to have a chance to, like, make it better, so what if they crank it up a little bit, And so I just kind of ran with that leap of faith,
Then we turn it up. We crank it up.
Exactly.
I can see why somebody would be scared. You know what I'm saying? To talk about it, because they'd be scared they're going to be more gang stalked, and they're going to get more voices called. They're going to get more of these electronic harassments, Like, I get it. I get it.
There's going to be more education on it, too. So.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd like to know what Rachel's story is.
How you turn it up is how you got to turn it up.
But it is hard at first. I mean, I totally give you props, Rachel, for, like, being courageous and strong enough to do that.
I'm sorry. Rachel, I don't know much of your story, so when did you find out? When did you begin to notice these things? When do you believe this started happening? Well, I just found out about gang stalking about 2 weeks ago, but I've been going through it for about 4 years. What turned you on to what was happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still here. What turned you on to what was happening, Rachel?
Rachel?
Still on.
Is she still on here?
Did we lose her? Oh, no.
No, she's still on here.
Okay.
On the computer, it's saying she's still on here.
Can you hear us, Rachel? Oh, shit. I guess they're trying to fuck with us.
I don't know.
Isn't that interesting? It happened with me earlier. Now it's happening to her.
Yeah, that's what they do. Doesn't surprise me.
They're going one by one. That means, Jamil, you're next.
Yeah, right. You're next. But yeah,
right.
I mean, mad props on Rachel, because she just found out about 2 weeks ago. So could you only imagine? You remember when you just found out, like, you're gang stalked? Like, I would have not had the courage to talk about it, because I was still thinking I was crazy and losing my mind, and yeah, I would have been way too scared, I think. So I really think highly of her for being able to do that. Like, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I just texted her, so she should be coming on. But man, so this some groundbreaking stuff we got. Now we got 2 hours and 28 minutes on here. I was gonna say,
is there any way that you can break it up? That's one thing. Like, I love listening to you, but some of them are so long. Like, I have ADD. Like, I cannot like pay attention for that long. Is there any way you could like break it up, kind of?
yeah, I'll break this one up then. This one's
Okay.
2.5 hours.
Cool. Yeah, because that's a really long time for me to listen to a video, and I'm sure your viewers too.
Okay, you're the second person that told me that. It's kind of intimidating to go on there and see like 3 hours, and you're just like, fuck, I gotta listen to 3 hours.
Well, yeah, it's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So hold on, and let me get this right. Then you're actually on live video right now on YouTube.
What do you mean?
You're saying that this is live feed for other people to listen in, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. Well then, yeah. Well, great. I'd like to say something then. One of my most scariest experiences, I caused myself to break my ankle because I jumped into the LA wash, and it definitely was a very, very scary experience. And I was really confused afterwards. I was really going through a lot of emotions because I'm, just a single female who, I had nobody at the end of the day. And although I knew what was happening around me was a very real situation, everyone else around me portrayed, the life that I was living a different life in a different world that didn't even exist here on Earth. Mm-hmm. And when you're in the midst of all of those things, I did not find comfort from my neighbors. I didn't find comfort from my family. I only found comfort in prayer. And I also found that it was my best weapon. My tool was prayer.
Prayer is a powerful tool. Prayer is a very powerful tool.
And I have to be honest, I take a prayer to a gunfight. And I want to say that because I think this is important for people to understand that spiritual warfare is real. And
very real.
We talked about this earlier, Jamil, where you were saying, this has a tendency to lean towards being demonic.
It is.
And
it's evil. It's demonic. It's of the Jezebel spirit. But
yeah. And there's more to that. But the point of it all for an individual who wants to come out of this or to feel like they have like-minded people and to be able to find comfort, I don't think there's anything that I or anyone else, any one of us on the phone could say that could provide that comfort. Oh, hey.
Is that Rachel? I fixed it. Okay. So, I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back too, but finish up really quick. I just wanted to make note that if anyone out there, has been able to spend time through this video and listen to even break it up through pieces, one thing I want to share is, understand that even though, it looks like you're alone, even though it feels like you're alone, you're not alone. And ultimately, there are those moments that are very crazy, they're very hectic, and it's very confusing. You don't know what's going on, and you want to be normal. You want to live that normal life, and it's all possible. You can't give in to your enemy. You just have to take it in prayer because that is the ultimate. That's the best tool.
That's the best weapon. You're right.
Yeah, there's definitely been a sense of unity since I reached out, and that's nice because, I haven't trusted anyone for years.
Well, we didn't get a finish, and you tell about your, what made you realize, because you said you've been game stalked for 4 years. So if for 4 years this has been going on, but you didn't figure out until 2 weeks ago, give me, a little view of the way you were seeing things for the last 4 years, and then what brought that to light for you.
Well, actually, I think that so as in the people behind the gang stalking, I think they wanted me to find out because they sent someone to me who just showed me the videos.
So you think that they wanted you to know you're being gang stalked?
Yeah, because you won't know unless they want you to, pretty much. Because then comes the next stage. Like after you're made aware, then comes the sensitization stage, and they keep going with it. At least that's my understanding.
Like, how did you feel when you realized that you were gang stalked?
Oh, I had a freaking mental breakdown because I figured out my family's in on it.
Yeah, that's the hardest, right? To realize that your own family is betraying you.
Yeah, and so I was so relieved because I had watched so many videos and researched so many things trying to figure out what this was. At first I thought I was just a part of a behavior modification study that I was involuntarily put on. I thought I was it was an alternative type of drug rehab. I thought I was a victim of a government experiment. I thought all kinds of crazy things. I was researching everything, and when I watched the videos on gaslighting and gang stalking, I'm like, this is it. No doubt, this is it.
Yeah, you just knew. You just knew that was what's going on. That's how I felt too when I realized it.
Well, how did you guys figure it out?
I actually found out because I love scripture, and I was no, Derek Prince, he is someone that delivered the word in truth and wholeness, and so as a spiritual leader, he rest in peace for the time being, and I can't wait to meet him in heaven because one of the sermons that I would still listen to, I went back to it, and it's titled Demon Gangs, and he goes into a spiritual breakdown of the way demon gangs operate, and my search term was demon gangs. I initially
I've never even searched that.
I initially believed that I believe it's a spiritual thing. Either you're rooted in the or you're not. And if, for instance, the more that the dark powers of the world permeate our earth, the more that people are demonized. So, you've got people running around naked and, crawling up walls and shot in the face and looking like a demon and, running around all over the internet. And I couldn't help but to think that I'll get out in public and people will look at me and wink their eye and put their tongue out at me and smile and laugh at me like they were mocking me. But these people didn't even know me. And so I would say to them, why did you just do that? I'm like, why did you just wink and smile and stick your tongue out at me? That was odd. Do you know me? And they're like, I didn't do that. But I've also do know that that's also, it's biblical. It says, why do you wink wink with one eye and stick your tongue out? It talks about children of darkness, essentially, children of perdition. So because of Bible scripture, I was introduced to the idea that people were actually just being used as vessels for demons. And
there's portals open for these demons to come into people.
Yes. So I just kind of leaned toward that. And then when I realized, wait a minute, there's terminologies for gang stalking, I went into it. And what I seen was some bad episodes that I even had, where the one girl was running around just crazy to the postal guy. Look, he's following me. Don't you be following me. And the guy's looking at her going, what? But and she's recording him, but and I can't help but thinking a bit of being her in that position at that time, and then I can't help but being the one to think on the other side, this girl looks nuts. What is she trying to prove? So I get into it that way, and then I went, you know what? Wait a minute. So I stepped back, and when I did, I was introduced to another gentleman. I do not recall his name. He broke it down, and he started talking about how basically they were demon gangs. So what I was finding was that there was a Holy Spirit anointed message that had come through and said, this is real, but it doesn't help that you've been traumatized and tormented so much as a people that when you do drugs, you get high, you drink, then you begin to act a fool and you look stupid, and it doesn't bring light to the situation. It just makes you look that much more of a maniac. So I kind of put it all together, and then boom, Jamil's channel popped out of me after about 2 or 3 more crap videos of people saying they were paid ops. I didn't believe they were true. I've experienced it so much that, and Jamil had more of a approach. So gang stalking, the way he described it, put a nail in the coffin. Wait a minute, his opening words were, yes, this was something that, yes, I knew I could label it for sure, gang stalking. And at the same time, what took me to it again was just researching demon possession, basically demon gangs. And then the fact that I've had demon gangs running around me for ages. I just didn't realize that it was an organized um, setup like it is. It's actually quite boring.
I think this is a demon kind of like what you have researched. I do believe gang stalkers are demons. They have the Jezebel spirit, like the Bible speaks of. So that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
That would be how you would have acknowledged what was going on, especially because you're such a spiritual, godly woman.
But Rachel, what was your? Because I didn't catch most of your story really. You said 4 years. What were your signs? How can you pinpoint the people that are have targeted you?
Well, like the first couple of years are very, very subtle. Like my computers and my phones were being hacked, and I was informed my identity got stolen, and every now and then I would hear like voices that didn't seem like they would be coming from anywhere, especially like when under great amounts of stress. And so that's
Yeah.
why I chalked it up to maybe I had like a mental illness or something, but that wasn't it. Cause like one time, like this was a while ago, I had come into work. I worked in a kitchen at this point in time. I had come into work hungover, and my boss was out. It was just me and my boss in the store or at the store at this point in time, and he was outside doing a parking lot check when I heard a voice that sounded similar to his saying, "Oh, it looks like someone partied a little hard last night," but he was outside, so obviously he couldn't have said that to me. And just little things like that. And then it got really, really intense, like about a year ago, where like the voices were constantly following me, and people were like talking about me, whispering on the buses wherever I went, and I started seeing the same people everywhere I went. And then when my family started acting really strange, that's when I knew something was weird.
Not your family's level of involvement, or that they were, actually. Because I wonder, are you for sure that they were actually pitted against you and like some scheme or plot, and to target you in that manner, or do you think that it was, it maybe just spiritually coming at you without not really realizing that they're coming at you in a foul manner spiritually?
I think they were actually approached and given misinformation. I think they thought they had joined an Al-Anon program that taught them how to essentially gaslight me, and they think that it's like a new age way of supporting an addict through tough love.
Al-Anon is one way that they program, just like AA and any other anonymous program.
Yeah,
so that makes a lot of sense to me, Rachel.
Yeah, so they think they're just being supportive and setting boundaries when really they're just being assholes.
Well, I mean, it teaches them the narcissistic game plan, which is the gaslighting game plan.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
So your family was tricked into gang stalking you. That's so atypical.
Because they're being helpful.
Right, and swore they were being helpful. Yes, yes.
Do you really think that they were trying to be helpful, or do you think that they've always been a part of it?
I'm trying to sort that one out. I'm not sure yet.
Right, that is hard.
They get money or anything for doing this? I mean, do you think there's some sort of monetary compensation?
I don't know. I'm still trying to piece together my whole family thing. All I know is like they are not who they used to be anymore.
So did they used to be supportive of you, and now they've kind of turned and became stalkers?
Yeah.
Okay.
This sounds almost like atypical for. I'm on a lot of platforms talking, and this sounds really typical of things that people are experiencing just really on a spiritual level. You know, I'm finding the way we're talking here that it's become now most people are in the same battle. It's like, oh, then people are not even the same anymore. They don't seem like my family. You know, there's this vast difference between the two. Was this overnight change, or was this something that, you know, you've seen get worse over time, and it was almost as if your family was indoctrinated into it?
I've been through the Al-Anon, actually, because that is a part of programming. They could have programmed her family to Al-Anon.
When you say programming, which one of us know anything about any type of programming that they would use? I don't. So I wonder, do any of you know? What's this V2K stuff?
The voice of skull?
Actually, Rachel knows a lot about voice of skull.
Yeah, what is that about? Does that have something to do with the programming? I mean, I'm not really educated on the programming part outside of like.
They make you hear voices. It's psychotronic weaponry. They simulate voices through sound, and they actually use remote neural monitoring too. They can make you hear things like that, or make you think you're hearing things by messing with your mind. But voice of skull is they're projecting a sound at you. They're projecting some sort of radiation frequency, and I think they say, you know, especially like it's like they know they'll look at circumstances, things about you, and they'll be projecting voices at you that are similar to what you're going through in your life, sort of, and they'll be making comments on stuff, whatnot. I've never actually had voice to skull where I've heard the voices, but I've had some dreams that I know were tampered with somehow, but I've met dozens of people who have actually experienced voice to skull. And Anthony Sutton came out with some groundbreaking work on how the Soviets were using psychotronic weapon in Vietnam to make people hear voices. There's a newspaper article, Carmen, I can send you of that back in 1974, psychologists released official documentation on how they had technology was making people hear voices back in 74. You know, this is like this isn't just like conspiracy theories or anything like that. Like, this is documented stuff that the government's been experimenting.
I've heard my name called, like Carmen, you know, Carmen, and it was an audible Carmen, but nobody was around. Would you say that's the same?
Yeah.
What do you think, Rachel?
How it starts.
So Rachel, what is your extent, your knowledge of it? How has it affected you? Can you give me some examples? I'd love to hear them.
Oh, I have like a 24-hour narration in my head. They impersonate people that I know, and basically, like, they sit there and nitpick every decision that I'm going to make, that I just made. Uh, they say horrible things about me all day. Like, they're like, "You're a nasty bitch. You only washed your hands 5 times today." Just shit like that.
Oh, wow. 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 And
That's
you,
got to be hard to deal with. I couldn't imagine.
yes,
And
so
if you're having
you,
a conversation with someone, they sit there and they say that person's lying. Don't you remember when they said this last time? And they like 50% of the time that person did say that. 50% of the time I'm like, wait, no, they never said that. Shut the fuck up, you know?
so you're bothering me yourself. I've had that same problem at times, and you know what's funny is I kind of thought I was just a little nuts, of course. That's what I always would chalk it up to, is the fact that I'm just going crazy. And
You're not going crazy. They're psychologically abusing you and using voice to skull technology.
well, that's pretty intense because I have thought myself, and I've went, you know what? I'm turning the radio on because I'm tired of listening to you, but I'm talking to myself.
Nothing works. Earplugs don't work. Music doesn't work. They infiltrate through white noise sometimes.
Do crazy things happen, Rachel, when you're like near the radio? Like, does it like just act kind of crazy and stuff?
No, I haven't experienced it, but I know what you're talking about.
That does happen to me. Like, I'll go next to a radio, and I'll be jamming to a song, and then it just completely just goes.
Yeah, plump. I've had that problem too, or I have it so that where if the radio won't get a radio station, that I go stand next to the antenna, the radio station will work. But if I move around,
Yeah, that happens to me.
yeah, depending on where I'm at is whether the station will come in or not. And also something else I've noticed about myself, I can go places. I can call places too, like I'm paying a bill or something on the phone, and the operator on the other end will say, "Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm having a computer glitch. It went out." And I mean, I have that so much. I'll go to the grocery store, and the checkout lady will say, "I don't know what just happened, but."
Oh my God, I've heard that so many times, and it takes forever to actually just purchase something.
Right. And then I've had another instance that I thought was even weirder. My sister and I went to a beauty salon. The lady was all nice and everything with my sister. Every time she looked at me, she had a really funny look on her face, but it didn't look mean or nothing. It just looked kind of funny. Like she couldn't register something when she was looking at me. But my sister was checking out, her and the lady were talking, and the lady turned around, and it was simultaneously, the lady went to the computer to bring it up, and I was walking up, and as soon as I got there, basically the lady looked back up and took the money. And in the process, of course, she had just looked at the computer screen, and when my sister said something back to her, the woman came back with a really sharp tongue at her and was really mad. So my sister, I had always said, look, people act funny when they're around me anyways. So I tried to bring that up. Oh yeah, don't worry, it always happens when I'm around. And my sister wanted to talk it up. And what she said though that I thought was interesting was, I wonder what she's seen on that computer screen. Almost as if the computer may have programmed something in her, like when she looked at it. So I had to think about that, like, wait a minute. I've had so many instances where the computers have went out. Do you find that you have that? I've been called eclectic off of it. I've been given an eccentric name, and I am Miss Eclectic because I can shut down computers, and, my phones like to fly out of my hand, and, weird things.
Do the lights go like on and off kind of?
Flicker around me a lot, yes. Do that too, most definitely.
That happens sometimes.
That's interesting.
Hey, Rachel.
Yeah.
Did you ever get that? Did you ever see what I was talking about the confusion stage and those links on the About Me section?
Oh, I haven't read them yet.
Okay. You haven't. Okay.
Are you able to get, Jamil, are you able to get a copy of anything? I don't know if I can email you while I'm on the line. If not, I can go off and steal this paper of the young lady that I had gotten a hold of, that maybe you could put it up on the board. And there was a few things that she pinpointed about gang stalkers and whatnot. I almost wonder if there's some topics in there that we've all not managed to touch on yet that other people are experiencing, and that maybe we do know something about it, but haven't touched on it. Is it possible for me to send you that and then for you to show it, or?
I mean, let me have a look at. Let me take a look at it. Just send it to email it to me.
Well, if I disconnect, I will reconnect here shortly.
Who else? Okay, who's all on the phone? Andrew, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm
Okay.
just listening to you guys.
Yeah, did you see that article on my YouTube channel in the About Me section? I got a bunch of stuff. It talks. I'm gonna look at it right now about the confusion stage, color sensitization. Okay, I got an article about why people funding stalking education, steps to beat gang stalking, women being gang stalked, educational reach out program.
No, I'll have to take a look.
The confusion stage, color harassment, stalking, education.
Do you guys ever see people in camo all the time, or lime green or lime yellow? Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of my gang stalkers wear camo, and if they're not wearing the suits like I told you about, like the higher up ones, they'll do the camo or lime green or yellow or the red.
Right.
I guess, I don't know, I think with the camo, it's like military stalking, military intelligence telling me they're watching me. And even when I was in the mental hospital, all the people there were PTSD vets, and military intelligence. And one of them, he straight up told me, he's like, I'll be seeing you again. I'm going to have to save you, and I've got your back kind of thing. Told me that. And I believed him. He also told me that he was a stripper and that he did a strip thing for Obama, and Obama's kind of into that occult and that kind of lifestyle. I believe it. Yeah, I've noticed that recently there's a lot of my gang stalkers wearing camo. And I think it's the military intelligence, the military gang stalking. But some of them are good, looking out for us, and some of them aren't. And I've noticed that, from all the people I met in there, because most of them, like I said, were military intelligence, getting electric shock therapy. They're still doing that to this day and zapping our military's brains. And I saw the before and after, and let me tell you, it was traumatizing watching that. Because these guys had PTSD, and they literally came back as vegetables and didn't know what happened to them and remembered nothing. And it was really, really out of a sci-fi, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Well,
but it's really happening. Our military is under suicide programming, super soldier programming, and that's how they continue to program them under mind control. They do, and for them to not remember, they'll do the electric shock therapy, just like Operation Paperclip. They're still doing that to this day, and I know that for a fact.
I'd love to read this piece that would actually cover your talk. Tactics. and I had just came across it really quick, and I think this is really important. It says here, the work discusses how to detect police spies in the flesh, in their vehicles, and how to observe their tactics, as well as a historical perspective on the use of spies. It's also very critical of community policing groups like Cellular on Patrol and the alumni of the FBI's National Citizens Academy who practice harassment tactics against American citizens, sometimes to the point where their victims commit suicide. It also goes on to state that the goals of these terrorist harassment tactics is not to disrupt criminal behavior or even public disorder, but to disrupt activities of daily living, such as going to work or to the gym and life processes, such as eating and sleeping. This essentially is a slow execution, and it leaves no traces of evidence. I can guarantee you that every police agency that has a covert apparatus large enough to carry this out uses these tactics on whoever they choose to target. While every city and town in the U.S. has adopted this system, this will be carried on much more aggressively in big cities. This includes Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. This creepy expose contains lots of photography taken by, let me look here who the author is. It's titled How to Detect Infiltrators and Observe Covert Police Misconduct. It is listed on Subscribe, that's spelled, I'd like to give proper shout out. That's www.s, C as in cat, R as in Randy, I, D as in baby, D as in David.com. Again, it was titled How to Detect Infiltrators, Police, and Observe Covert Police Misconduct. I'm sorry, let me say that again. How to detect infiltrators and observe covert police misconduct. They go on in here in the table of contents, and it talks about what's covered, the how to spot their people, how to spot their vehicles, how to spot their tactics, the role of community policing groups, the vigilantism, the use of spies. It goes into the echelon of it, police weapons of terror, and then also the neighborhood policing. And then it lists these different organizations who actually are overseeing the policing within, different communities. So, one of the things that and the reason why I wanted to list this and even brought it out, you had just mentioned, that I think this is important because what you mentioned is uniform to what is being explained in here. They talk about baseball caps.
Yes. Baseball
They,
caps and the sunglasses with the cameras and the camo or red or lime green or yellow, yellow,
and
like that lime yellow color.
you're saying lime green or whatever, and it just gives a depiction of this, like it says shirts, jackets, hats, and from specific sports teams, such as in Los Angeles, the LA Raiders. And so then in, Texas Longhorns, Texas, the Spurs, the Dallas Cowboys. So, and you may find people in Dallas or experience the Dallas Cowboys where you're...
Okay, I got what you're saying.
The military. So
Hey, hold on. We have somebody else. Somebody else is coming in.
Emily, I'm here.
Emily, are you there, Emily?
Yep.
Hey.
Okay, everybody.
I am.
Hey,
Hi there.
Right, Emily. We have Rachel, Andrea, and Carmen. Right, Carmen, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay.
Well, I'm still mind-boggled and shocked and kind of speechless on just what you read.
Yeah, and
I don't
there's a
even know
lot
what
more
to say about that, really. I'm going to have to,
really,
analyze that after we talk.
well, here's the funny part. You were talking about the military, the where, and you know
Right.
how, and then you've had your light. I've talked about hand signaling, and then you have Rachel who's dealt with the voices and whatnot.
The voice to skull technology.
Yeah, so in here, it actually goes, it puts them into each category, and it makes
Wow.
sense.
It does.
The beginning of it, again, what it does is it basically states, you know, and let me read this from here so that there is a particular or a overall understanding. It says here, under the shroud of community policing, the U.S. has been transformed into a totalitarian police state without a vote and without warning. We now live in a society saturated with police spies. This makes us all prisoners, and the prisoner's dilemma, the only game in town. This is not a life, certainly not one worth preserving, and certainly not one worth fighting for. The U.S. has also been instrumental in exporting this system globally. My goal in providing this information is to help you detect and be able to bear witness to police harassment and other forms of police misconduct. Our police and their civilian partners, I like how that's worded, civilian partners, have never behaved more criminally and are especially likely to do so when under the cloak of anonymity. Learn to observe so you can be the judge. So it's important, essentially, not to say, you know what, they're seeing camo, and so now that everybody I see in camo, I'm going to be leery of. Everybody has a different tactic being used on them. So it's
But you know, the
important.
awakened vets are the ones that will save your life. There are some good ones that are like helping us out. I promise you that know what's going on.
Right.
It's the awakened vets. And it's usually the ones that are homeless and disabled, and that's the truth.
So, Emily, we've gotten to hear everybody else's story, and you just came in. I'm Carmen.
Hi, I'm Emily. I guess I didn't get, what were you just reading?
Okay, again, I'll share that. It is listed on Scrib. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's www.scrib, as in boy, D as in David.com. It's entitled How to Detect Infiltrators and Observe Covert Police Misconduct. It's the crimes of cellular on patrol. I can even list that. Let me list the ISBN for the author. I do not know who the author is, but in all tributes to them, the ISBN number is 1453638482, and this publication has some really good information that I think all of us should, you know, definitely anyone that's experiencing these things definitely needs to read this in whole and understand that everybody's story is different and unique to their own situation. But this gives an entire, it puts it in perspective and gives you the ability to say, oh, okay, you know what, hats and glasses, or yeah, it just gives us the ability to be more aware of what's in our surroundings, what really to look for and what not to look for. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look in on that. I kind of came in right in the middle of you reading it, so.
Well, there is an awesome statement, a couple of them that I'll go ahead and just for the likes of everything. It talks about how to spot vehicles. It talks about clothing. It also talks about hand gestures. And it goes in depth. And there's some pictures. So there's also a little pictorial taking place at the same time. I've dealt with the hands. And it talks, the talking hands essentially is just a nonverbal use of hand signals. I've experienced that at a really deep level. I've also flags and things of that nature. What I'd like though, in my reading here, there was a couple of little outlined points that I think would be awesome. And this, it also brings up a couple topics that may ring some bells and whistles for some of us on the call. It says, strangely, the sense of smell can also be used to detect police spies. Police and those affiliated with them often wear noticeably excessive scent, cologne, or perfume to identify themselves to others in the know, and also possibly to give the target a subliminal sense of being stalked. Used in this way, it is a subtle form of torture. In the former case, it is especially useful if the agent is displaying no other noticeable forms of trade craft. As a side note, alcoholics and heavy smokers also have been known to do this, but only if they still have to function in society and have to have frequent contact with the public. It goes on to say, it has been my experience that the majority of these who go deep in terms of penetrating an organization or insinuating themselves into a trust of a specific individual are smokers. They like to smoke. But this can be compared to a poker player who smokes to cover a tell. A tell is a facial or behavioral giveaway that informs the other players as to what cards he may be holding. Also, part of this profile is that such individuals are also highly social. You will rarely, if ever, encounter such an individual who is a lone wolf. Solitude as a behavioral characteristic is simply not compatible with the requirements of espionage in general. And so it says, once you've identified a UC cop or civilian police spy, observe who they associate with, and the network will unfold before your eyes. These are the infiltrators and saboteurs, the ones you must remove from your organization and warn others about. This goes on, but I really felt that was important because I'd love for people to latch on to this article here and get knowledge about it so that they can just be aware of who it is and help be able to tailor it to them, because we all have our own specific correlations to it. Everybody's story here is different alone. Emily, what's your story?
I'm on the spot now. Okay. So it started when I was in Mankato, which is maybe 45 minutes away from where I'm at now. Well, I should say that's when I started noticing it. I'm sure it was going on before that. It's kind of a long story, but to put it short, the person, like my boyfriend at the time, and his friends pretty much left me in a blizzard, and like as I was walking to find a phone that I could use to call and get a ride back home, there were people whistling. Everybody was wearing sunglasses. This is towards the evening, there's nobody wearing sunglasses like that. And then FedEx trucks, like finally did manage to get into a building that actually did let me use their phone. I was able to get a hold of my mom, and she came and picked me up. And on the way back, we got followed by like 3 or 4 different vehicles, and one of them was a FedEx truck, and it followed us the whole way there. And like Mom didn't notice anything, and honestly, like even the radio was playing weird songs, and I can't remember them now because I was in such a like mid freak out because of all this insane stuff just started happening out of nowhere. There were subtle hints beforehand, like there was one movie I had at home, and I only had the second part to it, and then my boyfriend there in town was like, oh, hey, we got this movie, but we've only got the second part. We don't have the first part. And I had just had that conversation maybe a week ago with another friend of mine. So it was subtle stuff here and there, and I knew something was going on, but I wasn't really aware how bad it was until shit really just hit the fan. We actually went to a casino before they left me there. Before we went to a casino, and even in the casino, like I was going into the bathroom, and there's 2 security guards in the bathroom too, talking and just like eyeing me the whole time, wearing sunglasses again indoors. Everywhere I went was insanely crowded for a good month after that, and I just stopped going out of the house. Like I said, sunglasses were the biggest thing, and then FedEx trucks.
I have the same thing with me, let me tell you, with the FedEx and the sunglasses. Those were 2 that I've also noticed.
Mhm. And I have
there's a lot of differences, but there's a lot of similarities too.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely, and that article will point out for many people across the board will actually be able to see identifiable markers that can relate. Yours is.
I just related when you said FedEx, I got triggered, and sunglasses, because I always notice with the sunglasses and the FedEx trucks.
Mhm. Just curious, are there weird noises when people in FedEx uniforms walk by you too? Like it's a beeping, it's a 2-tone beep when they walk by me, and then it'll do it again.
I always just see them. Like I could go out right now, I swear to God, and smoke a cigarette, and I'm going to see a fucking FedEx.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. Actually, I should go smoke a cigarette right now. I wish it could be on video. I'd be like, look, see? I feel you, girl. Damn FedEx. And the sunglasses. Those are 2 that, I definitely see 2.
Mhm.
And told me the other day at a job I was doing, he goes, have you noticed they all wear dark sunglasses? And I started laughing, and I go, I kind of blew him off. I wish I would have talked to this guy a bit more, but I was working, so I had to stop. I was on a break, and I was talking to him. I had a commitment at that moment, so I had to get back to work. And I cut the guy short, but I promise I wish I had talked to that guy more. He was spilling things on me, because you do know that these street talks, and that people have been out here and their stories about you, and he was telling me different things, and quite frankly, I see these things too, the different. I'm so glad you said FedEx though, because
I've never heard anybody mention that, and that totally triggered something in me. Like, oh my God, I've seen that too, and I always feel the energy from the FedEx.
Yeah.
Well, I had an AT&T truck sitting out here. FedEx had delivered a package to someone earlier in the day. I seen them in the back of the building later on in the day, but I had AT&T out in the front of the building, and there was a ringing that would not stop. It was right out of the window.
Like a fax machine?
Oh my gosh, for 5-6 hours straight, I had to put my earphones in and put a video on because it was so intense.
It was too much.
Mhm.
Wow. I just got mine motherfucking blown, y'all.
I'm just curious, where are y'all from? State-wise.
I'm from Indiana originally. I'm out in LA at the current time, and this is Carmen.
Mhm.
And Andrea from Georgia.
And I'm from Minnesota.
Minnesota. Oh, people from Minnesota are so sweet.
I was just in Minnesota. What happened?
I love Minnesota. What, Minnesotians? How do you say that?
Minnesotans?
Yeah, I like that.
That's exactly what they're saying right now, too. Minnesota. My boyfriend Charles is from, a couple of different places, but he was born in Maryland there and lived in Maryland for quite a few years, and even when we met like under weird circumstances, and we met at the carnival because I took off and jumped a carnival at one point. And
a carnival?
By the way, taking off and going to different states and stuff, it don't change shit.
So you still get stopped no matter where you go, even if you move states?
Yeah, I moved to Oklahoma with my aunt. After that I moved to Kansas City, Missouri, and then came back
Do you
up
think
here.
the gang stalking took a while to like set up when you moved, or was it instant?
It took a while it took a while in Oklahoma. It was probably about a month, and then like the bus would be normally this bus that I take would only have 5 or 6 other people, and then this one time I took that bus and the entire bus was full except for one seat, and like there was tons of street theater. I couldn't even listen to it all. There was that much of it going on, and then in Kansas City it did not take as long, but it still took a little while, and then there were thousands of people involved in that one. Like they were following me to like.
So it was even more in Kansas.
Soup kitchens. Oh yeah, it was horrible in Kansas City, but it's a bigger city. I'm from a pretty small town.
Yeah.
It's a huge city.
So it's not as bad in small towns. That's what I'm realizing too. I just moved from like Atlanta to, the country, Milledgeville, Georgia. So it's not as bad. I still see it, but it's not anything like Atlanta.
Right. They don't have the people. And then with the carnival, it took the longest probably because we're constantly moving. And then there was one town. Hold on one moment. Hey, Charles. Remember that town we were at where everybody got fired at when we were at the fun house and there was like 20 people standing across from us?
That just sounds funny.
What town was that? Or what state was it? What, Alabama, Louisiana?
Hey, isn't that your husband?
Yeah.
Isn't that your husband? You should bring him on.
This is my fiance. Yeah. Hold on a second. I can put you on speaker.
Yeah. You have to ask him first.
Hey, Emily.
Yeah.
Emily.
Yes.
Hey, I'm broke, right? And I need fun. We need funds right now. Me and Rachel. Rachel just got off, but me and Rachel are trying to hustle up some funds right now, some emergency funds to get other people out here. And I know your husband or your boyfriend or whatever. You guys were listening to what we were saying earlier when I talked to you the other night on here. And I'm trying to get him on here with you so he can see what's going on.
Yeah, I will.
Because right now it's open discussion.
He just got off work.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he just walked in the door, but I'll either throw you on speaker or
give him a beer or something first.
Yeah. You haven't been on.
I know how that is.
I don't have a whole lot of time though tonight.
You haven't been on in a couple days. What's that fucking echo? Whose phone is that?
Yeah, I hear the echo too.
Yeah, who is that?
I don't know. Is it me?
Is it me?
Yeah.
Somebody's phone's tripping. But
my phone.
hey, but you haven't been on here in a couple of days, and right now I've been putting some work in to get people together, and we're going basically we're gonna meet up and chill and everything like that right here in Michigan. And Rachel's on her way out here, and I'm speaking to a lot of different people right now. Like Carmen just got on here just for the first time today. Then there's a few other people in the area in the Midwest. I know. Where you say we're Milwaukee or Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Okay. All right. And so there's like a few other people that are working their ways towards coming out here. Andrea isn't one of them, but there's people coming out here, and like we said, there's people that are suicidal, they're going psychotic, they're not right in their mind, and just like I spend hundreds of hours talking to people on the phone about what's going on, but we're bringing people together in person, and like there's and so like I want you and your husband to come on together sometime because. Your fiance? Because remember you said you want to, support the cause.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. Do you want to jump in on this call now? Like, I can give you can I give him the number and the pin? Is that cool?
Yeah, give him the number and the pin.
I would love to know how, like, an outsider feels about being with somebody who's a targeted individual.
Yeah,
hold on one second. I'm going to look up the number really quick. Hold on.
Except for, are you single too, Jamil?
All right, whenever you're ready, I'll give you the number.
Jamil, are you single?
Huh?
You ain't got to say
Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
You want to talk? It's cool. They're curious to see how somebody...
You don't want to get a girlfriend who's going to put
somebody in on a situation.
You're not ready to put a ring on it?
FedEx problem too. 720.
No, hell no. Not in this situation. Fuck, not like this, getting stalked
Not in this
everywhere. and shit, hell
situation.
no.
That's what I'd like to know is like how somebody who's not gang stalked, that's, you know, with somebody who's a target individual, like what it's like for them.
Call it, and then I'll give you the pin.
You know what I mean? That's got to be hard.
Where
It's not that bad now that
are
we're
you
back
single?
up here, but he noticed it a little bit. Hold on 1 second. You ready?
Hey,
So, but he knows that you're being gang stalked,
03
and he supports you.
619. He knows, and he's seen a little bit of it. He's coming on now.
Or does he just think you're crazy?
03619. 03619.
It loves you anyways.
03619. That's what I said, right? Yeah. Okay, that's what I said.
All right,
Hello?
is he on?
Yep, he's in.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on? Actually, at the moment,
Hey.
kind of stuff. Forgive me.
Oh, no, there's no problem. Yeah, your fiance, man, has been very helpful, and she's been on here talking to the ladies. Like, there's a few women on here who are going through gang stalking, and I know you guys are together.
Hello.
And, like, we all wanted to hear what it was like for you to know that your fiance was being gang stalked, and, like, have you seen it? How have you interpreted it? And, you know, can you shed some light on that?
Well, it's actually pretty. It was actually pretty easy for me to realize it because I'm a person who is very well aware of my surroundings. I've been like that ever since I was a kid. I had to keep an eye over my shoulder because I was one of those kids who, unfortunately, got severely beaten by his father. So keeping an eye on my surroundings and where people are at all times is pretty much my thing. And on top of that too, I really don't want people behind me. So when I feel someone like behind me, like I get the shivers. So I move, I look. But when there were a few times actually when we'd be sitting at the fun house and actually in a quite different spot. And since I'm at a front on one side of the fun house, she's on the other end towards the exit. I'd keep an eye on her and the situations down there, and I'd keep an eye on front of me and the situations in front of me, and I'd also look on the inside, also towards the outside of the house, pretty much in like an eye of everything that's going on. And there were several times where we would have nobody there, but there would just be parents sitting in front and like shift eye towards her, like they would look right at her, and they would mumble something to each other, and then they'd walk away. And then I think it was one night actually. We both sat at the fun house. There was nothing going on, but there was a huge group of people actually walked past, stopped, came back, looked right at her, talked to each other, and then they kept moving. And it was kind of like, what the hell is going on? So what I did was I have a for each, because like each spot is like a week or two. So what I would do is keep a mental note of the faces that I've seen, and I would see the same face multiple times. Now, the same multiple times would be wearing sunglasses, or they'd be wearing red shoes or red shirt, or sometimes they'd come in wearing all red or all black, red and black. And then there was like several times actually that I would see a UPS guy just randomly walking around.
Now,
Package.
go ahead. Obviously, he noticed the color coding before I did, but that didn't hit in the small town. That was just in certain spots. But you remember that one day when we walked from the house to the gas station when we were living at the old place?
Oh yeah, with the 3 or 4 UPS guys.
No. When we were walking from the house to the gas station, it was like getting dark, and you're like, the same vehicle has driven by us 3 fucking times. This is a block distance, by the way. It's 1 block away from the gas station.
Yeah. it was like a silver. I want to say Impala. It looked like an Impala or BMW, one of the two. Yeah, it was a fact that was actually like maybe a 5 minute walk. You know, we left the
You
house.
keep cutting out. Is he cutting out for you guys, or is that just because I'm too close to him?
He's cutting out for everybody, I think, because he's cutting out for me too.
Yeah.
I'm
you hear
hearing
me now?
like
Yeah, it's cutting out. It's
double.
cutting out for me as well.
How about now?
Okay.
You sound better for me.
Oh, it's
I
probably because I
still
had you
hear
on speaker.
double. Kind of like
Well,
I'm
better off.
Sounds a lot clearer too.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's because I took you as a speaker, but usually in like a conference call, there's going to be an echo everywhere.
I can hear
Yeah,
you
but
better
it
now,
was,
actually.
Yeah, it was cutting out before, and yeah, like we've already got the echo, but it was cutting out there.
Well, like as I was saying though, like this walk is maybe less than 10 minutes, or even actually less than 7. It's just
Yeah, I was
we
gonna say
walked
this
out
is
of.
from the old house to Clark. That's 1.5 blocks.
It's not even a 10-minute walk. We stepped out of the house, and we looked across the street, and there was this silver, looks like a BMW or whatever. And like at first I didn't pay any attention to it, because it could be coincidence. They're getting ready to cross the street as we were getting ready to leave. You know, that can always happen.
Right, you
And
didn't
then
think anything of it.
right, and then actually it was less than 2 minutes. Okay, me and her are walking down the sidewalk. In less than 2 minutes, they're coming back around straight past us, and I'm like, okay, that's just not right. So we kept on walking, and I was like, okay, if I see this car again, obviously there's something going on, because you just don't see the same car 3 times in a row in a block and a half radius. That just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And then but I didn't see them when we got to the gas station. But when we left the gas station, we took the same route and we saw them. And
Again?
then we saw them again. And so that actually worried me enough to where when we got back into the house, I looked out of the front bay window and I stood there just to watch. I saw the vehicle go back past the house one more time.
So I'm gonna go ahead and admit that I'm an asshole. He had no idea what gang stalking was. He didn't know he had no idea.
Yeah,
Most
right.
people don't. I didn't either for a long time.
Well, I didn't
See
tell
what we're
him
doing?
until like.
I just wanted your fiance to know. See, sir, what we're doing is I've been helping people since June of 2016 through courses, interviews, and courses. It had been going on for a year. It started in the summer of 2015. Then June of 2016, I just started approaching the people who were participating in it and talking to them. I started handwriting flyers and eventually typing up flyers, interviewing everybody I could, making YouTube videos about it. And now I've been doing this for 2 years. And I'm at the point now to where, like, I'm taking people off the grid and outside of society and taking them outside so they can hang out, go hiking, go camping, do healthy things. So suicide is no longer an option. So going out and violently hurting somebody is no longer an option. So people can come together and help people. And I've talked to over 100 different people getting gang stalked. And Emily is just, one of those people. And her story is not very different than a lot of other people's stories, and you've seen it firsthand, so you know it's real. And so, like, right now I'm working on a money bomb for people. I tell people they can donate $1 or $5 or $10 or whatever. It's all going to go to getting people together and getting people to do something healthy. I've had one person getting gang stalked come and meet me already, and it went pretty good. And I'm just staying focused to keep my eyes on the prize and try to help everybody I can. And people know they can call me 24/7 for, like, guidance and help and assistance. And right now, we're just kind of talking. There's no structure to it. We're just kind of just messing around. But you came in at the right time, and, we're just glad Emily can be here, and we're glad you can be here. And if there's anything you need from me, information or whatever, let me know, man. I can email it to you. I can email you the MK Ultra files, anything you're interested in. And if there's anything you guys do to support the money bomb or support people coming together, as we've been doing it, even $1 would help, man. Just your intention and your goodwill going towards it would help a lot. It'd be saving lives.
Well, we're already planning on it, or at the very least I am. I do get paid on Friday. I don't think I'll be able to make it because the place that I work at, I haven't been working there long enough to get any vacation time, and I only get the weekends off, usually. Tomorrow I have off because it's a holiday, but as far as getting up there, it's probably not going to be an option until it slows way the hell down, but that won't be until winter.
Well, you're lucky. I work.
Right.
Yeah. But I do
So
get
do you
paid,
get
and I am
gang
planning
stalked
on.
like at work? Because a lot of us don't
did.
have jobs, but when we have had jobs, that's happened to us.
Yeah. Actually, I did, and now Charles has not seen any street theater. They will not do street theater if somebody else is with me. I have noticed that.
Really?
But
So
when
it's
I was
only
at
when
work,
you're by yourself?
yeah. Except for in Kansas City. In Kansas City, they did not give a fuck. In Kansas City, it was me and my friend Michelle, and they stalked us that entire, like, it was bad. There was street theater. There was a lot of sound sensitization and visual sensitization. Not so much color coding, but again, with the sunglasses and the FedEx and security guards for whatever reason. But at work, I did have a guy who came in who started, like, I was already suspicious because, like, the first or the second day that I was working there, we had a quote-unquote fire extinguisher inspector come in, and he was wearing, you know, the uniform, sunglasses indoors, and I work in a lab, so, like, the lighting is dim in certain places because you have to have it that way for certain chemicals.
So it wouldn't
and
make
stuff like
sense
that.
to have somebody with sunglasses inside, right?
Right, and he was eyeing me the entire time that he was there, like waiting for me to respond. But at this point, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm tired of running. I'm not leaving this job for this shit. So I stayed. And then the day after that, a new guy started. And he, it wasn't, I want to say it was maybe a week later, he brought somebody in, and I knew that it wasn't the girl that normally comes in, like, I see her all the time. Like, I know exactly what she looks like. This girl looked really darn close, except the hair was just too dark. It was more brown than red. And the other girl is definitely a redhead. And they went back and forth with a conversation that Charles and I had maybe a week or so prior to that, just to make sure that I knew what was going on. And I'm still refusing to leave. Well, ever since I did that interview with you, Jamil, I have not had even vehicles at this point. Like, during that interview, there was 4 red cars that drove by or whatever, but since then there's been nothing. And that guy got fired.
Wow, that's
like, I just found out today he got fired.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah.
That's good news, right?
Right. So, like, and there is one other that I've, like, kind of suspicious on, but I'm not going to mention anything about that person because I don't want anyone to know that I know that person's probably involved. I'm going to wait and let you hit the fan so that it doesn't bother me when she does do what she's going to do. Yeah. But, yeah, that other dude got fired, and I haven't had any issues since the interview with you, so I don't know if it has totally stopped but, like, ever since I've been back, though, it hasn't been a daily thing like it was at first.
That's great news.
So, yeah, I don't know if they stopped because now I finally know what the fuck it's called and what's going on. This has been going on for a little over 2 years.
Yeah, now they're probably scared.
Right. Like that guy at work, I actually called him out on it one day. He was complaining. He was like, God, I don't get paid enough for this shit. I'm like, oh, but you get paid enough to follow me on your other job, on your side job, right? And he said,
he called his ass out. I love it.
Yeah, he goes, oh, yeah. And the look on his face when he realized what he just said yes to, like, he definitely didn't need to say it. His eyes got huge.
Don't you love them?
Yeah,
gotta love the Freudian slip.
His eyes got wide, his jaw dropped, and he went and sat down at the table, and he's sitting there tapping his legs and texting furiously. I have never seen anybody text that fast in my life. And, like, my nephews are in their teens, so you know they're quick at it.
Nice.
Yeah, and yeah, after that, like, he pretty much avoided me there at work for the longest time, and then, like I said, just today, he totally got fired, gone.
Wow. Karma's a bitch.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you?
Okay, I've got about 15 more minutes yet, and then I have to go because there's a place like a few towns over that does fireworks early, so I'm going with my nephew to go see those things.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope you have fun.
Oh, I will. Hope you guys have a good 4th too. And I'm sorry, Charles? I totally interrupted you with that whole thing there, didn't I? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
So you guys none of you guys have been able to work, like, the other places that I've worked at, like, I've had to quit, except for at the carnival, because the carnival is a little bit different. Nobody gives a flying fuck, and nobody's going to join in on that, because once you're in the carnival, you're
so
kind
it's
of
all good.
Yeah. Like, but normal jobs, like, before I got in with the carnival, like, other places that I had tried to work, I tried to get a job at Burger King. That was a mistake. Just when I went in to go grab the application,
What's
like,
up with the Burger King?
I don't know. Even when I got into town here, Charles, you remember when we first got back, I wanted to go to that motel that was close by Marcy's.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, what I didn't tell you, you remember how we had chicken chow mein? The one that what I didn't tell you is when I brought that application back in, somebody else had chicken chow mein, and they purposely made sure that they came in and put it on the counter when I came in there to bring my application back.
Huh.
I believe it.
Yeah, she had sunglasses too. Just saying.
I believe it totally.
It's like, this is before. Yeah, this I maybe discovered what gang stalking actually was. Gosh, I started talking to you, Jamil, like right after I figured it out. It hasn't even been a month yet, I don't think. Like, I didn't have a name for it.
It's still all new to you. It's like a mind fuck confusion stage.
Well, I'm finally out of it. Like, as soon as I figured out found what gang stalking was through a friend of mine, like, everything made sense. I already knew that there was something going on and it was a big operation.
Everything made sense after you figured it out. It's kind of comforting. It's like, thank God I'm not crazy. They're fucking crazy. I'm not the crazy one. Yeah.
So here's the wonderful thing about that, though. She's with someone who, like, knows his surroundings, no matter where I go. I mean, I don't mean to say that I didn't know that it was happening. I knew I was being gang stalked. I just didn't know what the fuck it was called. Like,
that's
holy
awesome
shit,
that
my
you
ex
have a man that's going to support you and not call you
yeah.
crazy, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a beautiful thing. That's awesome.
I got really, really lucky, and I didn't even want nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
at first.
you are lucky. That's awesome.
See, when she told me exactly what it was, I immediately started putting the pieces together. Like, oh, so that time when we were walking to Hardee's, that's what that was, or
once you, sorry.
And
it all makes sense. The more you learn, the more it makes sense.
Mhm.
And and now that I actually know what it is and what people are actually doing, I pay more attention. And I have like when me and her were at the movie theaters. When me and her at the movie theaters a couple weeks ago, I did see people come up, with sunglasses on, but the sun was just like going down. So like, there's no reason that you really need sunglasses. You can see,
Yeah.
And
the thing. Sorry.
Let him. I think we should let him finish. Let the man say what he has to say, and please nobody interrupt.
That's why I said sorry.
Everybody.
Sorry.
Like Emily had just looked towards him in a different direction, like she didn't see him. I looked over at him and I gave him the sternest look I can give him, and he turned around and walked the opposite direction. Like,
good.
She told me her triggers,
No,
like,
before we knew what gang stalking was actually called, though, when this happened. Like, I didn't want to tell him what was going on because I
you didn't want to sound crazy.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
You can't be a closed-minded person in the world that's pretty much closed-minded itself. That's
good that you think that way.
Wait a minute. So if I heard this correctly, Emily, you said I'm sorry, sir. What is your name again?
Charles.
Charles. You said that you didn't actually tell him what was going on. He actually picked up on it.
Exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. Is like
you can feel their energy, can't you?
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's evil energy. You can feel it. Yeah, it's negative, like fight or flight. Like, oh, something's wrong, right? You can feel that stuff.
there's no fight or flight here. It's more of just I see what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
That's good.
Fuck
I'm
up.
glad that you know. That's comforting.
That's awesome.
And
Did you, for the sake of, I wonder, and Charles, when you were witnessing this, she didn't tell you, so did you know that she knew? Or, and then how were you able to address it? Because how do you know that she wasn't like some murderer or serial killer and had done something crazy a long time ago and her past was coming back to haunt her? I mean, what were your thoughts and how did you address that with her?
Well,
why would that mean she was a killer or something in her past?
No,
I don't get what do you mean? I don't get that. What do you mean by that?
Well, the
How do
smear
you-
campaign, he may have been like told that shit.
Right.
Well,
You don't. What I mean
the-
is, so people come with a past, and she could have been. If I'm just saying that, how did he not think that there could have been something else from her past that came up? I wasn't natural. I'm trying. I just threw something out there. Please
because
don't
people who have done things like that in their past, they still carry a look of sorrow
hold that
on their
thought.
face.
I'll be right back.
The look of sorrow, so you could see it in their eyes.
I could see it in
I
that.
guess
She didn't have that. On top of that too, I grew up in an area which was good at first, and then right about 2010, it went straight to crap. So
So you've been through trauma too.
Well, yeah. I grew up in an area where there was like 3 different gangs all in that same area, and they were constantly battling all the time. So I
hate
know.
to interrupt, but our ride is about to get here. We got to go take my nephew to the fireworks. Charles, I know you're already pretty much ready. I gotta change and everything, so I'm gonna end the call. But keep going.
Well, Emily, it was so nice to meet you. And
Okay, Emily. Yeah, Emily. Emily. We look forward to having you on again, especially you and Charles. Together. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It is.
Y'all have a good night, and yes, I definitely want to do this again. Yeah, I will. I do have tomorrow off. I don't know if y'all are busy, but we'll figure it out.
But like.
Yeah, hit me up.
I'm so glad I got to meet you.
Nice meeting you guys
Good to
too.
meet you too. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
I probably need to.
Or did you guys want me to keep going?
No, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, keep going, man.
Her past didn't really bother me because we pretty much explained, we pretty much gave each other our full depth of our past anyway. So anything that happened in her past doesn't really bother me. That I can handle. I grew up in an area in which there were 3 gangs always battling. So I know when something is completely off or if something, like there's a miss, but it's being hidden. So I'll keep on pressing if that's the case. Yeah, she also let me know through video as well, about some of the things in the past, or the gang stalking in the video. Yeah.
Why I wanted to
she actually showed me your videos. If I can remember.
Me?
Again. Yes.
Jamil.
She showed me your videos, and I was
Oh,
actually
really? Yeah,
at that time too. I was still processing a lot because I'm also becoming an assistant manager, so I'm still processing all of that plus what I got to do at my job as well.
Right.
That's a lot.
Right.
But like how I noticed it was when someone's clearly up to like 0 good, their mannerisms and their actions show for themselves. They can appear normal,
True story.
but if you take a closer look, let's say right now that since I'm looking out the window and someone out by the road stops, looks at the house, and then keeps walking, it's kind of like, okay, you're one of the ones I gotta look out for. So in my
Right.
head, I'm taking a mental picture of exactly what you're wearing at this time, your face, although you're wearing sunglasses, your face, your hair, and your build. I'm keeping a mental, keeping a mental picture of this. Now, let's say, you know, I cross this person on the street. I'm not necessarily going to say the thing up front, but I am getting a better, clear picture of exactly who you are. So if I see you again out front of my house, I'm going to be the one to step out the door, and I'm going to stare at you. If you walk away, we're good because I know you're not coming back. But if you come back again, there's going to be a verbal confronting, and I'm not afraid to do it. I have done this multiple times back at home where I grew up because, well, you're in a place where people are trying to recruit you for their gang. And it's kind of like, no, sorry, we're not doing this. You know.
Yeah, stand your ground.
Okay, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. I was asking Carmen. The only reason why I was asking you on Charles's question was because, see, I'm a single female, and then I did get into a relationship, and it was with a friend of mine that I'd had for 26 years. That was really good to me, and I confided in this
Wow.
friend of these issues. And then after I confided in him, he connected to the network and proceeded to sabotage my life. He beat me, stole my mail,
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
phones. He set me up for them to, I escaped. I don't know what was the plan for them to do in the end, but this was on multiple occasions. It got worse over time. I didn't know that there was things plotted like being robbed and stuff stolen. My computer was broken. It was all blamed on outside sources. And then with me not, certain scenarios where I wouldn't be around and I could say, well, I know he isn't stealing my clothes because he's a man and the clothes aren't in the house. So it was like, oh, you weren't at home, so, somebody else stole the clothes. And of course, I would be gone, obviously. But, and then that would be his excuse too. He was gone, he didn't know. But all in the end, everything that it came out that he was on their team and that was horrible. But it came about because he beat me, and I guess I came into the relationship trusting that I could confide in this guy. Of course, I'd known him 26 years. I would have never fathomed that this person would have been the type of person that would say, yeah, let's be in a relationship and then be getting paid from the opposition to destroy my entire life. I mean, that thought
Right.
never crossed. But for
Terrible.
others that realize that there is a sabotaging that's out there taking place, it's really hard. I mean, I don't trust people. I don't trust my own family. I don't trust anyone. So
The sad thing
ultimately,
is whatever you care about, whatever is the most important in your heart is what they will try and destroy and take away from you. That's the saddest part of this program.
yeah.
and
So
and and here
by you, I'm sorry.
here's the thing about that. And pardon my phone dialing numbers. I'm going to give you an insight on exactly how my mind is. I am going to live my life. I just give me like like 5 minutes. Just tell them I'm looking for a different shirt because I'm about to do it anyway. Um, my mind feel you. My mindset is like I'm gonna live my life according to how I want to. I'm not gonna let you or anybody else tell me different or make me do anything different. Now, yes, I do have an open
Good.
mind as to anything into the world. I make decisions upon what I see, what I hear, and it's basically up to me to decide whether or not this is a good thing or this is not a good thing. And I'm always going to live and abide by that because the decisions that I make are mine and mine alone. If I make a mistake, it's still it's my mistake. It's my mess to clean up. If I don't make a mistake, then kudos. I'm gonna keep pushing, and I'm not gonna let anybody deter me from my goal. So, in other words, if you want to live your life, period, free of crap, then you shouldn't side deter you from meeting your goal as to living your life as a person or with anybody. And on top of that too, it's if I'm gonna be with someone, I'd rather be with someone who's gonna treat me the way I would treat anybody else. You know.
With love.
So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I don't
That's
know
wonderful,
else
man. Absolutely.
Thanks
do
for
you
sharing
foresee? Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Do you foresee a time like have you ever worried about yourself getting
I'll
gang
come in.
stalked because of?
Oh, if it ever happens to me, I'll be aware of it, and they'll be the ones to be, well, hurting because they can't bother me. They will never be able
Because
to
you
bother
already know.
me. Right.
You already
Right.
know their game. You're already 2 steps
No, I don't.
ahead.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
But I gotta go because we gotta go and have some fun.
Well, thank you. Yeah, have fun.
Yeah.
Well,
And
thank
Charles,
you.
hey,
Yes.
Charles, your fiance Emily, she has my number. So if you want to call me yourself, man, she got my number. So don't ever hesitate to reach out.
No problem.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Yeah, have a good night.
you guys do too. And remember, you are your own person. Don't let these guys mess with you.
That's beautiful.
All right.
Great advice.
Thanks, Charles.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. Bye bye. I do not.
Wow, wasn't that wonderful?
I loved it. It's really
Yeah,
cool to
that was
have
like-
somebody else's view that has, lived with somebody who's gone through this. That's
Right.
willing to talk about
Right.
it.
Right. So yeah, that.
So my caught it true colors by saying, "Well, how do you know she wasn't a killer?" And it was funny. You said, "Well, what the heck made you think that?" And in reality, and I should have just said, "How do you know she doesn't have a past?" And that people aren't whatever's going on. It may not be our world is so crazy. So I guess I don't know the wording that I'm thinking because we live in a society today that you don't know if, Jojo over there is the cartel snitch of the century, and now the drug cartel is coming to kill him. So you feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
never know.
Hey,
Nicely done.
we're approaching 4 hours right now. And
Wow.
So, yeah. And so I just kind of wanted to say that we covered like a lot of different stuff, and
I
I'm gonna
think
break this
we
down.
covered almost everything. Your listeners should know
Right.
all about gang stalking after this shit.
Right. Absolutely. And so Andrea, thanks so much, and thank you too, Rachel.
Yeah, I enjoyed
And-
it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Rachel, we're gonna have to network. I mean, depending on what your intentions are. I know you said you were coming out to the Midwest, and so depending, like, you're always welcome to come in and talk anytime there's a conference. And now you and Andrea have each other's phone numbers, so you can call upon each other for support or whatever. And if you do want to come and meet up with the group, the people that are coming together here in Michigan in person, you're more than welcome. And you said you're going to be here going to where you're going on the 10th and all that. So, just let me know what's up and just keep in touch. And, if you don't exactly see eye to eye on the idea of going hiking and camping and getting off the grid type of thing, that's cool. But if you want to shed some insight on some stuff you might want to do, just if you want to, like, maybe if you just want to meet and hang out first and decide what you want to do, then that's cool too. Like, just keep me posted. And because there's a lot of different people.
Or you said Rachel. So were you meaning Carmen?
I'm sorry. I mean Carmen. I'm sorry, Carmen.
Just wanted to be sure.
Rachel's not on the line anymore. I mean Carmen.
I got you.
Right. So just keep me posted on what's going on with you. And if you do want to come in, and you will be closer to Michigan. So if you do want to come in and hang out and go with us and stuff, you're more than welcome. But if not, you can just keep coming back, and on the conference line if you want to as well. So either way.
So are you still going to set up the people in the area and see if we would, like to see if we could do a meetup before you have to leave on the 10th? I was aiming, to leave just before then, if we can coordinate something prior to that. I don't know.
All I'm gonna do is talk to a few different people who live in your area and see, if they would be willing to meet up with somebody else and get involved. Because I never really officially arranged a meetup between people who get gang stalked, and so all I would do is bring you on a three-way call.
I'm sure they would be down.
Okay,
they may.
I'm just letting you know.
People, I'm not a match doctor. I'm not a match doctor. You know what I mean? I'm not a match doctor, and these are people. Let me finish. Let me speak for a minute, please. I'm not a match doctor, and these aren't people that I know personally in person, and so this would be your responsibility to co-create the situation with them to meet in person. All I can do is bring you on a three-way with the person, and you can feel them out. And then if you guys wanted to do something else outside of the phone call, that's on you. But I'm not going to be responsible of whatever comes out of it. So if you don't get along with the person, or if something happens, I'm not. You know what I mean? These are people that I don't know. I have not met in person. So this is not my meet. Like, whatever you would be doing with these people, it's not going to be affiliated with me directly. I'm just showing you the people, and then if you want to meet up with them and go to the beach or whatever, like that's your group.
I think with your intuition and your empathic abilities, though, you'll instantly be able to know.
Well, I don't want to be Yeah, but
right.
I'm not going to be responsible.
Right, I'm just saying.
If Carmen has a bad experience or something, I don't want to be held responsible for that. Because these are people that I have not met in person.
Yeah,
I don't know
I get
them
it.
like that. I just know them from calling me for help. I do the stuff on my phone that I've been doing for years with people, and I'm bringing people together here to meet up and hang out and do the off the grid thing. But if Carmen is interested in other people in her area, I can bring her together. I can bring you together on three-way with them, Carmen, and then you can talk to them, and then you can decide what's appropriate for you and them if you think you want to meet them. But I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to have any direct.
It's not somebody you know for years and you can recommend.
What I was thinking I can write a brief introductory email for me to you really quick for them people. If you would you can say, hey, I spoke to this girl. Her name's Carmen. She's in the area. She wanted to, meet up, and then just give them through my email, and then I can take care of the rest, which that's presumably what I would have done in the begin with. I did not expect you to coordinate anything outside of, because you've already spoken with like-minded individuals, and I'm on a time crunch. I was just proposing. I decided I could propose to shoot you an email with a brief introductory of me and why they could contact me.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to call. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to call the people and ask and let them know what's going on. That there's somebody in the area that would be interested in talking to them, and I'm going to see what they have to say. If they are interested, then they might they might say okay, they're interested in introductory email. But I'd be like, just put you on three-way with them, let you talk to them directly. Then you can email them whatever you want after that. You guys can exchange emails and all that stuff. And because I don't, you know what I mean? I don't want to be a middleman because I don't know, I just want you guys. I just want everybody to like.
Instead of you wasting your time, you could just attach it to the 4 or 5 people if you have their email addresses and say, hey, this was a girl that was proposing to do this.
I don't do that. I'm not about to attach her to 4 or 5 people's email addresses that I haven't even talked to first. These are people that I don't know personally. I know them from talking to them on the phone. I'm gonna call them and talk to them. I'm gonna call them and talk to them over the phone like I have. I don't do that. I don't just link people up who are being gang stalked like that. These people contacted me to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I run educational courses. I run educational courses, I run educational courses and I run counseling, and these people contacted me to speak to me. So I'm not about to just start forwarding emails to them. I don't know Carmen, and I've never met Carmen. I don't know her well enough to vouch for her. And I don't know these people well enough to vouch for them. These are people who just email me for help. So I'm not about to just randomly start sending out emails to people. That's me putting my name on it. It's no disrespect to you, Carmen, but I don't know you that well. Today is the first day I spoke to you. So I'm not about to start forwarding your email to people, and I don't know enough about you. I can put you on three-way with people, and I'm going to let people know, like, the understanding is I'm going to let them know I just talked to Carmen over the phone. We did an interview. She seems like a really nice woman. She's being gang stalked, and, you know, we can do it like that, and I'll say whatever comes out of this is on you and them. But I don't do that. I'm not a match doctor. I don't just start forwarding emails to people of people I don't know and stuff. I don't do that.
Awesome. However you feel comfortable.
Right. And so, right. But that's, you know, but that's it right there. So, did you guys want to say anything? I mean, you guys have anything else? Because we're going on 4 hours, and I'm about to close this down. I mean, if you guys don't want to add anything.
I'm good. Hey, thank you for the time. It was awesome. I'm glad I can contribute anything. And
For sure.
keep doing what you do.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll talk to both of you later.
All right. You guys have a good night.
Okay. You too.